It's the most wonderful time of the month, everybody. We've got the latest issue of Doctor Who magazine. There's Doctor Who magazine issue 585. It was a bit of a different one in terms of the cover. There is no David Tennant, there's no Ncuti Gatwa, there's no Millie Gibson, anything like that, because it is, for all intents and purposes, quite a slow news month. All we had was Millie Gibson's announcement at Children in Need between now and the last issue, so there's not actually that much to properly talk about. What do you think of the new TARDIS leak, says Simplified. I am not talking or commenting about that at all, other than I have seen it. You can tell that it's the production designer from the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy movie from 2005, 2006, whenever that was. You can tell it's the same dude. But yeah, once the lights ping on, it's going to look great. But I'm not talking about that properly or showing the video on stream. That is just bad etiquette in my opinion. But it was out there. Anyway, this is the cover for the new Doctor Who comic strip, which features the 14th Doctor, played by David Tennant, and also the Daleks. But in terms of actual big revelations, we did actually get a pretty big one in terms of the structure that the series is going to take in the near future. In the Letters from the Showrunner segment that Russell T Davies does every single month, he did the 12 Days of Christmas for Doctor Who magazine. 12 months of writing, 11 words a saying, 10 scenes a listing, 9 episodes a totaling. And this was the bit that really got everybody interested. The 15th Doctor's first full season will be 8 episodes long, with a Christmas special, making it 9 episodes every year. And when I say Christmas, that's my generic term for festive / end of year / holiday or New Year. You'll have to wait and see. Okay, that's fewer episodes than the last full season, but give us time, we have plans, and that's a promise. He also said that as this magazine is going to print, he is writing a Christmas special, and he's also writing a Christmas special at Christmas. That's never happened before. Stephen, Chris, did you? And this isn't for next year. No, the 2023 script has been long since signed off. This new one is for end of year 2024. Santa baby, that's so timey-wimey. Merry Christmas, folks. Nadolig Lahwn, which I presume is Merry Christmas in Welsh, or possibly he fell on the keyboard at the end of this and somebody should check if he needs medical attention. Anyway, these are always fun, and I do like the obvious hints, but still the look at transparency, right? He's actually told us very little in terms of the actual plots or the story of the structure or anything. He even just makes fun of the premise. 5 gold rings. Love that bit. And that's his contribution there. But the main bit that I want to talk about today for this segment is the 8-episode season. He mentions here in 12 months awaiting until the next episode, although I'm writing this in November, so that by the time you read this, it'll be down to 11 already. But look, I know it's a long time to wait. We're working hard to close those gaps. It takes a while to get the Empire in shape, but that's a serious plan. Annual Doctor Who, no gap years, lots of content, on and on and on. Yes, please. Right, so let's talk about the actual logistics and the reality of putting together a massive high-end TV drama production like Doctor Who. 13 episodes was already quite mad, and it wasn't the TV gold standard, at least in the UK. People talk about like the CW shows, what they do in America, where it's like 25 to 30 episode seasons. Firstly, they run those teams into the ground because they're not as well unionized in America as they are in the UK. There's also a lot more money to have bigger crews and more units and more people at the grind, basically, in America in order to fund those lengthy seasons. We don't have that in the UK. I also think that when you have something like Doctor Who, it is such a unique drama. Let's say, for example, just for comparison, like you compare it to Line of Duty, which is another massive BBC tentpole production which they throw all of their money in. That has got a small cast of like main characters, 3 or 4 main characters, but you can distribute those characters and bandy them about and have maybe one character does not appear much in one episode and then they make up later on. You don't get that with Doctor Who. For Doctor Who, the Doctor and the companion are in almost every single scene. And you have to have a new setting every single week or every 2 weeks. You have to have a new supporting cast to accompany those settings and those episodes. Whereas with Line of Duty, it's an ensemble cast for those 6 weeks, and that's your lot. And you can also, it's it is a grounded world where you can find filming locations, whereas for Doctor Who, you have to build sets, you have to create special effects, there's so much post-production work. Not saying that there is no big production work on Line of Duty or other comparable high-end TV drama, but Doctor Who is a different beast entirely. There's a reason why, up until Jodie Whittaker in the revival, every Doctor actor has had to have surgery on their lower parts of their body because of the fact that they were running around so much, and they had like dislocated and broken ankles and broken legs and stuff because they were just running around so much. It was absolutely mad. So it's a grueling schedule, it's a grueling shoot, and even if the BBC wasn't being slashed and cut to the bones by a Tory government funding and the cost of living crisis and everything. Like, I know several TV productions that over the past few months are like waiting for fuel prices to go down properly and waiting for inflation to stop rising, like out of control as it is, or just like halting entirely because of the cost of living, because it's way too expensive to put on productions right now. It's a genuine, like, massive issue in the TV and film industry in the UK that no one's really talking about, which is a bit disheartening to see. Even if it had all of the money in the world, I still think that 13 episodes would have been completely unfeasible. I think what you would mostly expect is like a 10-episode block, but from Bad Wolf taking over to the end of Ncuti Gatwa's first season, you'll have 3 specials for the 60th anniversary. You'll have a Christmas special with Ncuti Gatwa making the introduction, which I believe they're filming now. That's the script that Rusty Davis said that he signed off ages ago. And then you've got another 8 episodes for his first season, presumably in early to mid-2024. That is 12 episodes, and some of them are going to be an hour long or longer. We know that the specials will probably be an hour long. The episodes themselves might also be between 50 to 60 minutes long, so we are still getting quite a lot of TV there. And 8 episodes is still a lot that most dramas get. Like Line of Duty, once again, got 6 episodes, unless you are a reality show like Strictly, which you have to whittle down the contestants, and shows like The Traitors, that's a big one right now. In the UK, unless you like go on for several weeks. Dramas typically go between 3 to 6 episodes, and that's your lot. Doctor Who getting 8 is above what you would kind of expect. And there's a reason for that, because you want all of these different settings and you want these different effects, because it's a boon for the UK industry in terms of effects and makeup and costumes and locations and stuff like that. But it is a show where you can go anywhere and do anything. 8 episodes absolutely checks out. And Ncuti Gatwa and Millie Gibson, you know, they are very young. Like, Ncuti Gatwa is one of the youngest Doctors. Millie Gibson has just turned like 18 years old, I think. So they need that energy, because it's going to be a grueling filming schedule. No, like, there's going to be no bones about it. So 8 episodes is fine. And when we get to the bit where he talks about getting rid of the gap years, I think this is the most important bit of all, because I think it was the gaps between the Chibnall seasons of Doctor Who that really did affect the viewing figures, and as well as like the marketing and the promotion or the lack thereof. Because when you had like Spyfall Part 1 drop on New Year's Day 2020, when I asked people like, what did you think of Orphan 55, they were like, oh, we just thought it was like a festive special. We didn't know that it was a proper season that had started up. Like, Doctor Who's back now? Well, what's going on? That was clearly an issue. So I think actually having a non-seasonal, like, regular rotation of Doctor Who every 12 months, that's important. And when he says like no gap years, lots of content on and on and on, if you wanted to fill the gaps in, like, let's say you had 8 episodes between like April, May and June in 2024, then you can have like a 5 or 6 episode spin-off towards the end of the year to fill in like the year-long gap and have like the gap between the season and the Christmas special. That could be the way to go about it. But what he's saying is that it makes sense. It takes a while to get the Empire in shape, and I'm glad that they're not just saying we're doing 13 episodes plus 10 episode spin-offs, plus we're also doing Class Season 2, which would have me like up the wall incredibly happy. However, that's not realistic for a brand new production team and a creative team that, yes, have worked on the show before and know what they're doing, but they're doing it in a different ecosystem. They're doing it through Bad Wolf as opposed to the BBC. They need to find their footing again. Give or take 2 years to start firing content repetitively. They only need the 1 year. I think they like by 2025, it wouldn't surprise me if there was like a full-blown spin-off in production and ready to broadcast for Ncuti and Millie's second season. I say Millie's second season, she might just be on the 1 season. But I believe that they're filming the Christmas special right now, and he's writing the Christmas special for next year, so that's exciting time, or at least the festive special. But yeah, Doctor Who Magazine issue 585 is available at all good and evil retailers now. and you can check out all of the good stuff.